The Volcano Mage is the second build in the Magma Sorceries builds trilogy. This build makes use of all the Magma Sorceries at almost full power at level 100. Without further delay, let's see what this build is capable of. But first, the stats. 45 Vigor will give us a good amount of HP. 28 Mind will allow us to use the spells quite a lot. 14 Endurance is enough, we don't wear heavy armor or spam attacks. 70 Intelligence is going to help us deal a lot of damage with the spells. 17 Dexterity and 18 Fate is the minimum needed to use the spells and weapons. 13 Strength and 14 Arcane because we don't need these stats. In the right hand, we will use the Lusat staff to cast our spells because of the high sorcery scaling. The extra FP cost won't be a problem because we have a lot of FP and 6 mana flasks. In the left hand, the Gelmir Glintstone staff will boost our magma spells by 15%. As a backup weapon, we will use the Magma Whip Candlestick. Its damage is not great with this setup, but the skill Sea of Magma is a good tool for dealing with multiple opponents at once. First, let's take a moment and admire the beauty of this set. The set consists of the Sanguine Noble Hood, Alberich's Robe and Knight's Cavalry Gauntlets and Graves. These pieces were picked purely for the looks, and I hope that you agree with me that it looks badass. Fire Scorpion Charm will improve the fire damage of our spells by 12%. The 10% extra damage taken will be countered by the Dragon Crest Greatshield Talisman, which reduces the physical damage we take by 20%. Graven Skull Talisman and Graven Mass Talisman will improve the potency of our spells by a combined total of 12%. Godfrey Icon will boost the charged spells and skills, so except Rykard's Rancor, everything we use will be boosted by 15%. Whenever you have the opportunity, try casting on Torrent as it makes dodging so much easier. Magma Shot is a projectile that deals damage on hit, and leaves a pool of magma where it lands, dealing damage over time for a few seconds. It's great against opponents who don't move too much. It can make for good combos with Rykard's Rancor or Roiling Magma. Roiling Magma is similar to Magma Shot but is more expensive. It deals more damage when it hits, doesn't leave a pool of magma on impact, but can be thrown at the ground and it explodes after a few seconds. You can bait opponents into the explosion. After it explodes, it leaves a pool of magma which deals damage over time. I like to use it as a follow-up after Magma Shot. Rykard's Rancor is a chaotic spell. Against small targets it tends to miss more often than it hits, but it shines against enemies with big hitboxes like dragons. Gelmir's Fury is in my opinion the best of the Magma Sorceries if timed perfectly. It's very similar to Meteorite of Astel because it must be charged and you can easily be cancelled, but its range is way worse. However, it makes up in damage if it lands many hits. For those who say that these spells are bad, you probably don't know how to build around them. Hopefully this video helps with that. The Spirit Ash for this build is the Man's Serpent, just like in the Lava Dancer build. If you didn't check it already, I leave a link in the description or comments. In this build, however, his only role is to tank the hits while we cast our spells, and he does a decent job at that. In the Flask of Wondrous Physique, we are using the Flame tier for 20% bonus fire damage, and the other tier is the Intelligence Knot tier for 10 extra points into Intel. Both tiers last 3 minutes. The Oil Pot is a very important tool for this build. I advise using it as much as possible, especially against opponents resistant to fire damage, because it improves our next fire attack or spell by 50%. Boiled Crab is also a useful consumable because we are exposed while casting, so reducing the physical damage we take by 20% is welcome. The main weakness of this build is the lack of other damage type. We deal physical damage but it's pathetic, especially against fire resistant opponents. In order to improve this weakness, using Flame Grant Me Strength will boost your fire and physical damage by 20%. Another improvement you can easily do is adding 10 points into Intelligence, that way you reach 80 so you don't need the Intelligence Knot tier anymore, so you can replace it with either the Cerulean Hidden tier for no FP cost for 15 seconds, or Dexterity Knot tier so you get more physical damage out of your Magma Whip. Adding 10 points into Vigor will give you like 233 more HP, while the rest of 30 points can be put into Dexterity, so your whip damage increases alongside your casting speed. This was the Volcano Mage build. I hope you liked it and you're going to try it. Personally, I had a lot of fun with it. Please subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.